Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a JRPG news show, an anime news show, a niche news show, a show where Baku and I will be talking about RPGs and rumors. We'll be previewing trailers. We'll be answering questions and comments from super chats at the end of the episode. Oh my goodness,
And more.
we stream live every Sunday, every single dang Sunday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, except for when we stream on Mondays as a makeup stream. Baku, how are you doing
Yes.
tonight, dude?
I'm doing great, man.
Oh,
How are you doing?
I am feeling pretty darn fantastic, you know? I finally
Yeah?
put out a video that I've been sitting on for a while. It's been a while since I put out a video in the game collection, and
Oh,
every time I do, it's like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders, you know? It's just one more, like, you know, for me, when I have a backlog, when I just finish the game, like, sure, there's a little bit of satisfaction, but for
mhm.
whatever reason, over the last 10 years as I've been reviewing these games, it doesn't actually feel like it's done until the review comes out.
Oh, well. That is
Yeah.
is that a blessing or a curse? I don't know.
Yes. Yes, it is. So it is
The
both.
answer is yes.
Oh, but you know, I put out my review of Golden Sun: The Lost Age
Oh,
back on
wow.
Friday,
Okay.
so that was good. It was a really very busy week. It you know, just mostly for work, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
which is why I didn't end up putting out more videos last week. I would like to. I would really enjoy putting out more videos that this week, but it's just been such a blitz. But we finally finished our cycle at work, you know, and so now it's
Nice.
kind of just this buffer period of catching my breath, and so I'm feeling pretty good. Ah, how about
Yeah,
you,
man.
dude? What have you been up to this week?
Uh, I was writing a paper up until just now.
Yeah.
So there's that for school.
Hmm.
About waifus, of course.
Of
As you
course.
know, I'm studying the waifu studies.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it is
uh,
important to acknowledge, you know, those who fell during the course of the waifu wars, and
oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
hashtag
Yeah.
never forget. Am I right?
I'm writing about the economies of waifus after the waifu wars. A
Mm,
very exciting topic.
wow,
Yeah, I know.
pretty heavy stuff for sure. Um,
Definitely. It's a period of recovery after the great Trails waifu war of 2021.
well, I'll tell you a little more about what I did last week,
Oh,
because
tell me more about it.
not only did I finish Golden Sun: The Lost Age, I not only did I release that, but I also finished finally my playthrough of Trails of Cold Steel 2, which, oh my
Man,
god, was like 130 hours for me to complete.
so how did you like it?
Oh, it was, you'll have to find out when I put out my review. No, I'm just kidding. It was great, dude. I really enjoyed it. You know, it's not one that
Man.
I think a lot of people really talk about,
Mhm.
but there's nothing wrong with it. Um,
And you know what's crazy is that a lot of Trails fans come by to hang out and talk about Trails even when I'm not playing Trails, but whatever. The consensus team seems to be that like CS2 is probably the weakest of the four title.
which is
So
bizarre to me
yeah, which is
because
yeah.
it was a lot of fun. But
Well,
you know, it's like I've been saying during my streams lately, and
mhm.
I think I've even said it here. Um, what I've said is that, you know, even sometimes the weakest game in a really good series can still be a really good game, even if it's, you know, the black sheep of the series.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
like Chrono Cross might be the weaker of the two, but it's still really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You trying to get me to agree to this? Is that it?
No, no, I just wanted to see your reaction there. But
I
you know,
rolled my eyes.
because because we finished because we finished uh Trails of Cold Steel 2 on Saturday,
Mhm.
that means on Monday we're starting Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh my god, wow, finally.
I know
That's insane.
it only took you an entire full year. By the way, this is episode number 51. Almost
Oh,
52.
yeah?
Yeah. It almost took us one full year of shaming me on
Shaming.
Twitter, but
But
now it's going to
Mhm,
happen. So if
mhm.
anybody is curious about this game, this newfangled turn-based Yakuza title, well, it's not Yakuza anymore. It's really
Like a
the start
dragon.
of our of a Like a
Yeah.
Dragon game series.
Mhm.
Uh, come over, hang out. It's a good time. Lots of cool people hanging out in the chat. And I'm not even including myself in that one.
Oh, I can't wait to come by and like not worry about not worry about spoilers for once.
Oh,
A
you
lot
mean
of times, like I can't. I mean, I'll come and hang out, but like I can't pay attention too much to the
yeah.
game.
I was gonna say
Uh,
when you do drop by, you don't seem to care too much about spoilers because you drop by anyway. You're like, oh hey, what's going on? I'm like, not
well,
much, just
I
this really
like
pivotal
you.
moment.
I like you more than I hate spoilers, but I'm still like, it's just like it's too close to comfort, right? If it's like 5 games away, I don't care. Like I'll watch a Kuro no Kiseki stream and I don't care. Like I'm not
Yeah,
gonna remember this by the time I get there. Cold
that's a
Steel
good point.
2, a little too close. Getting
Hmm.
there, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
You're starting to get enough context for things to matter, right?
for me to not forget it easily,
Exactly.
right? Because
So
context helps you form memories, right?
exactly. So
Yeah. So
anybody who's not really doesn't understand what I mean, why I'm asking or talking about context here real quick, I do have a video talking about do spoilers matter? And the overall the overall thing is not to say yes they matter or no they don't, but it's really entirely about the context. If you have enough context to actually form a memory about it, like what Baku's saying,
yeah.
then they start to kind of matter. But even
But
then, maybe not so much. But anyways,
watch Derek's
yeah,
videos
go
later.
check it out for sure.
Go check it out. Well, since you're playing, you know what? That's crazy. We're both gonna be playing Like a Dragon, but I'm just playing the newer one, Like a
Mm.
Dragon Ishin over on my channel. We just
Ooh.
started 2 streams ago. I'm absolutely loving it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back to the action-oriented game style, which I like. I like both. I like turn-based. I like the action. They're both great to me.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going back, and this time it's set in the Edo period.
Yeah.
We were talked about. We've seen it. It looks way better than the previous game, which I also
The
have.
PS4 version, right?
Yeah, the PS4 version. Yeah, this remake version, just like man, it looks good and it plays super smooth. So I'm super excited. So I'm
Would you
excited to
say
see you. Huh?
is this a good reason to buy a PS5, you think?
It's getting there.
Okay, cool.
Is getting there. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, if you want this level of gameplay, you either have a computer already, and then buy maybe like a what would be a comparable GPU, like a 7600 XT or
Okay, sure.
like yeah, or no, it's like wait for
6800.
40 for like a 4060
Oh,
from
okay.
Nvidia. So
GTX
4060 from
4060.
Nvidia,
Okay.
7600 from like what is it called? Actually, are 4060s even out
I
yet?
don't think
No,
they are.
right?
You're talking about like a 3060, right?
Yeah, well, maybe like a 3070. Like a 3070, right? But so you're talking about like maybe $500 for the card itself,
Yeah.
and then or
Probably
$500 for
closer
the
to a
system,
2060. If I
2060
I
for
bet
the
it's probably closer
PS5.
to a 2060 for PS5 because PS5 is a couple years old now, right?
Yeah. No, I think you might be right. Yeah, I'm like overestimating
Because
it, but
it definitely has some of that, real time ray tracing ability, but
yeah.
probably
But
not the chops
it's a
of.
system that is built for purpose for game playing.
Hmm.
So there are certain advantages to it,
Oh,
even
sure.
though yeah. But anyways, like that would be a comparable thing. But regardless, you're throwing out like $500
Hmm.
or so. So it's really just the choice of building a PC or getting that PS5. And I think it's becoming more convincing now that we have games like, what is it, Elden Ring and some games that we're going to talk about today that
Yeah.
demands the higher level of graphics, and it's evident that those games are not available on the Switch
Uh-huh.
for a
Sure.
reason. Like they
Sure.
know what sales they're missing out on, but the
Hmm.
Switch just won't play this at all. So there's nothing they can do. But we'll talk about that, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
the
Cool.
time is coming.
Yeah. Exciting
Yeah.
stuff. So, yeah, one last little bit of Super Derek news before we dive into some comments from last week.
Yes.
And it's not even really more like an announcement than
Mhm.
news, and that is just to let everybody know that March, at least here on SuperDerek RPG's channel, is going to be the it's going to be the Trails month.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all
What
I'm
you
gonna
got
say.
planned?
I'm not telling anymore.
Not
I
telling
got stuff
anyone?
planned. I got I will say that I have at least one Trails video planned for every week in the entire month of March. So, uh probably more than one if I'm being honest, but it's going to be
Mm.
great. I'm very excited about it.
Well, I may know something about this plan
Well,
that I'm also not gonna tell any of you.
good. Yep. So I'm working on the title still. Is it Kiseki month or Trails month? I
Mhm.
don't know, but it is
I like
all
Kiseki
March
month.
long. You like Kiseki month?
I like
Yeah.
Kiseki month, but people are not gonna know what. Oh,
Some people
hmm.
do. The real
Tra-
ones know.
Trails of month. Wait, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe we can get some good names in the comments. I've found that the community is really good at naming things, much better than myself, at least.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
I'll have Chat GPT come up with one.
heck yeah. ChatGPT changing the world one stream at a time. All
All right.
right.
Let's dive into some of the comments that we got from commenters
Mhm.
last week. So
Yes.
let's go ahead and start off with I think this is probably Trinex or
Mhm.
Trinex. It's hard to say how
Mhm.
how their name is pronounced. But anyways, they say, I'm happy they updated Chrono Cross, but I wish they would finish the games before they released them. Now I own a physical copy that is not the full game. I know that that is common nowadays, but I thought it was safe with a remake of a PS1 game.
Yeah, you think that, right?
You would think.
You would think that.
Okay, so
Mm.
uh, I wholeheartedly agree. I wish that that's how it was in the beginning. I still maintain that even okay, even as is, it's the better version than just the PlayStation release.
Mhm.
But yeah, it would have been so much better to have this patch included on the cartridge, released at the
Right?
time. I wonder if this is at all just because the people doing the port had no idea how much people would hate
Mhm.
the frame rate, even though it might be authentic to the PlayStation experience somewhat.
Mhm.
Uh, that people still would not accept that as a general okay kind of state of release. Some people were okay with it, like me. I was fine with it. It was not great, but I was okay with it. But
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of people were really mad about it. So
Yeah, I mean the update. So we call it an update, but there's really two parts to an update, right? There are the bug fixes, and
mhm,
then there are the enhancements, right? So the bug
yeah.
fixes, of course, be like the frame rates issues and any little bugs here and there, which I think they really should have patched before releasing. But regarding to enhancements, a lot of them might be afterthoughts, right? It could just be like a nicety that they thought, like, well, since we're already doing this, we might as well throw this at you. Like it was never planned. So they couldn't have done it because they only really thought about it afterwards, right? They could be gold plating, right? Oh, we have leftover funds. We could do something good for it. So, we'll welcome that, which is unfortunate, but it's not something they can realistically have planned. And we're going to talk more about this later on because this is going to be an interesting topic for us to head into as we talk about the news. So let's
Yeah.
move on to the next commenter, Later Elder, who says, play the worst one first is good advice, honestly. I am that way with Golden Sun. Dark Dawn may be a sequel in the timeline technically, but it's barely connected to the original. And the best way to like the game is to play it before playing the superior originals. Dark Dawn, The Broken Seal, The Lost Age. That's the order the games should be played. Thank you so much for that comment. That was in reference to the question that we got about orders of games to play, and a lot of
Mhm.
you had a very interesting opinions on how games should be played, and I think that's sort of encompasses, or maybe, well, not encompass, but maybe like a reflection of the confusion and the many
Sure.
different opinions of people out there, right?
Yeah.
So when you have a certain series that you have absolutely no idea what the game is about. I mean, yeah, you're telling me play the worst one, or but sure, but
hmm
how do you define worst? Worst to
How do
whom?
you find out whose is the worst, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's generally
So
good. Yeah.
so that Layla was talking about in response to what I was saying musingly. Maybe the best way is to play the worst one first. Get the
Mhm.
get the black sheep out of the way. Start with Suikoden 4 if you're gonna play all the Suikodens. Except in my case, I would recommend starting with Suikoden 3 because it's the worst. Um,
Yeah, that's what I said about Persona. Just go with Persona 3, then go up because
yeah.
I think
Now
Persona 3
again,
is the
again,
worst.
even
Not
the
including 1
worst,
and 2.
even the worst in a series can still be good. We're not saying Persona 3 is bad. Because somebody last week was like, I can't believe they said that about Persona 3. Like, no, Persona 3 is fine, but it's the worst of the modern Personas. Like, because Persona 4 and 5 are better. Because they don't have Tartarus. But anyways.
It's I mean it's true.
that's
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 just
it.
facts. What do you want me to say?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I've gotten people who like rage left my stream because I said I didn't like Persona 3. That was it.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was bad. I just say I didn't really like it. I like
Mhm.
4 more. That was it.
Yeah.
And that's all it took for them to just like rage quit on me.
That's all
All
right.
right, well.
I mean, but that's the other thing when it comes to talking about order of play, whether
Mhm,
that be chronological or from worst to best or in recommended by the general fandom. Like I think that nobody is ever going to be like, yeah, I played these in the wrong order. Nobody's. I mean, unless you started with Trails of Cold Steel 2, and then you're
yeah.
like, maybe I shouldn't have played Cold Steel 2 first. But very seldom are people going to be like, you know what, this is my game, this is my jam. I love the series, but
Mhm,
I started playing them in completely just the most back assward way, and most people are going to feel like their fandom justifies the way that they played it, which is totally
mhm.
fine. And this is the other point that I tried to make last week is play in whatever order will get you to play the games.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I like that, honestly.
but nobody,
And
but nobody's like gonna be like, oh yeah, I did it wrong. Like
well,
that's the
see, okay,
problem.
and
hmm
just to prove my point, right now I'm reading in chat, and at least 2 people are saying Persona 3 is the best. I like them over P4 and P5. That's
Sure.
the point.
hmm
That's the right there. That's my point. You're saying that that's not the worst. I'm saying that for me at least, that's the worst. So if someone asks me which one should start, and if I go by the rule, play the worst one first, I would have said P3,
Which
right?
brings up the question that you
Yeah.
raised before: is like, who's the arbiter of
What?
that decision,
There you
right?
go. So
Exactly.
thank you for proving that point exactly. I'm not disagreeing with you. For the people who are saying P3 is in fact the best, per se, that's your opinion and versus mine. It's that we
Yeah.
don't have to agree.
I mean, Persona
Um,
3 definitely does have that charm of being a relatively darker, almost SMT like story.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but okay. If we're taking the whole Persona series into account though, Persona 1 is the worst.
We don't talk about 1 and 2.
No, no, no. 2 is fantastic.
2
Both
is
of them.
fantastic.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question or the next comment that we got here from
Yes.
X in the chat
Yes.
who says, Derek, Final Fantasy 1 through 6 Pixel Remaster Collections is listed at Playasia for $74.99 and it shows the release date as April 20th. Got
Heck
my
yeah.
copy I wrote notes for myself here. I actually got my copy the day that was announced. So you could have gone on to Playasia and they had PS4 versions and Nintendo Switch versions. Looks
Mhm.
like right now the PS4 version is no longer available,
Oh,
and
jeez.
Playasia have updated the site to show a new release date
Mhm.
range of
Mhm.
Q2 of 2023, and they sent out
Oh,
an email updating that. So
interesting.
so yeah, Q2 of 2023. And if you would like, I did put that's the other video I put out on Monday morning. I put out a
Mhm.
video just to quickly send out that PSA to people like me who missed out on that first batch from Square Enix's store. If you want it, there's a link in the description down below. I sent, it's an affiliate link and it supports me and the show. And so check that out if you're interested. But they did also raise the price from $74.99 to now $79.99.
They raised the price. Oh.
They did. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
Okay.
it's,
Even more reason for me to not get it.
I mean, they raised it from, it's still not as high as like, what was it on Square Enix's site? 90?
I don't think so.
I think it was.
The base game was fairly priced. It was just they dropped it out of nowhere and it was all sold out before like anyone can like really act.
Yeah.
That was the big complaint. It wasn't the price, it was the availability and the timing.
Oh, I know. I know, because that's what I was complaining about. But anyways, it is still available for pre-order for Switch, but things are still in flux. But yeah, I made sure to get one as soon as possible, and I hope others were able to do that as well before it went up another $5.
Oh God, yeah. If you want to get it, I'm probably gonna sit out on this one. I thought about it. I really did. I had it in my cart, and I was like,
if I get this, and I ordered it, I will have Final Fantasy 1 through 12 minus 11 all on Nintendo Switch.
Ooh, wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. I mean, because physically on Switch, which is a nice way to have them all
that's
on a single
flex,
console.
Man. That's a flex right there.
It's not a flex. It's just cool to be able to have them all in one, one system, right? Like for a while,
it absolutely is.
On Vita, you could have all Persona titles on your Vita, right? Just all of them one central location. Pretty dang handy.
Yeah. But, no, I think that's super cool to have. But a physical copy, no less. That's the cool part. I mean, you can do all the games in Steam, but
now
that's not physical.
I'm curious to find out if they ever did fix the font in the physical version, or if they're going to patch that in later.
Ooh, that's a good question. I
remember that there was some question about it at one point. Did they ever?
No one knows.
Did they ever fix it? Did they ever fix it?
I think there is a fix on Steam, I think, but whether or not the fix was any good is one thing. And whether or not they would do it for their cartridge is another thing. So,
because I remember there was the big hullabaloo during this situation where Square Enix was saying, or no, people were complaining about the font right after the physicals were announced, and then they started taking down pictures that contained the font of the game. And it led a lot of us to think, oh, maybe they're changing the font. Maybe they're listening. If they haven't fixed it yet, though, if they haven't put out a patch here pretty soon, if they don't, what does that mean that they were taking down the photos for? They just wanted to sell more games. We'll see. I hope that they fix this. I hope that they fix it. Please, Square, fix it. Before the print, the physical games, please. God,
that would be nice.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Hey, you know what? We got a voicemail. Let's listen to it.
Yes.
Hey, stupendous Derek and Baku-sama FPS. So I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, hey,
awesome.
The introductions seem to go. I've been watching SuperDerek since about late middle school.
Wow.
It's gotten me through some rough times, but I used to listen to it while I'd study. And, now these days I'm in college, but also I'm studying art on the side.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So that kind of brings me to my question, which is, or rather, one of the things that gets me into, JRPGs a lot of times is the art style, not just in game, the art that's promotional or whatever, like things you'd see on the cover art, stuff like that, right? My personal favorites are Hidari from Fire Emblem Echoes, Akihiko Yoshida, who worked on many of the games in the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah.
So that brings me to my question. what is you guys' favorite, artist or art style that you see in an RPG? Thank you, just thank you so much for, always putting on the show for us. Keeps me, even today, keeps me going through some hard times. It gives me something to listen to while I'm at work, and I want you all to know that I really appreciate all you're doing. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh man,
God, that's nice, man.
That's a very sweet voicemail.
Yeah.
God.
All right.
So been watching me since middle school. What?
Middle school? Yeah. Okay. What a way to make you feel really old.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that voicemail, dude. So to cut straight to the point, okay, artists that just get me really excited for RPGs. Believe it or not, Tetsuya Nomura stole the show for me back in the day. Everything that guy did, meme about all the belts and the clown shoes and, the pockets and zippers, all you want. But dude, that looked sick for the longest time. I really always wanted like a Dog Street shirt from the Bouncer, or from I think one of the characters from Kingdom Hearts also had one, the chubby kid. I can't remember what his name is at the moment, but he also had a Dog Street shirt, and I was like, oh man, Dog Street is such a cool brand. I want to wear that brand. At some point, I want to get a shirt like that. But anyways, Tetsuya Nomura was a huge influence on me and artistically my style for a long time, because I also really enjoyed drawing, and that's one of the things that actually got me. I was going to video game design school once upon a time, and I was going in for the art and design aspect of it. So Tetsuya Nomura was a huge influence on me, and so was I not as huge of an influence, clearly, because I can't remember his name at the moment, but the guy who did the designs for Chrono Cross. I thought that his designs were just, I don't know, something really special. God, I wish I could remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but I remember doing an art study on his style for a while there. It was so good. But
Man,
how about you, Baku? Any artistic influences that you particularly enjoyed?
So I'm not an artist myself. I like what I see, but I can't speak too intelligently about it. Like, oh, yeah, this is the whatever style, whatever period. And get all philosophical about it. I'll tell you what I like though.
Sure.
So I do like the Mana series, and a lot of this is going to be the Square Enix stuff, because
Oh, for
a
sure.
lot of RPGs I played were that from the golden age that really
I mean,
and
Square,
I think
Square was synonymous with RPGs back in the day. Like,
yeah,
when you didn't, for anybody who wasn't there, if you didn't know a whole lot of RPGs, and you probably didn't, because the internet was kind of scarce for a long while, like, you might have had a moment or two alone, at your aunt or uncle's house, where you could, do some searches on the internet to find out about other games. But like, for a long time, if you didn't know the kind of games that you were looking for, you just knew that they were made by Squaresoft.
right.
And you would look for that logo. You would look for Squaresoft. You would look and you would find games that were of that style, that was Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, and you just like, oh my god. Oh my god. How could I possibly not say Akira Toriyama? Holy cow. As an artist. Oh my god, what a huge influence he was, way before I even got like really into RPGs. Like, I was just blown away with Dragon Ball Z, and then I found Chrono Trigger, and I was like, oh my god, that looks just like, that's Bulma Briefs right there. They didn't even try to hide the fact that that's Bulma Briefs.
Man, no, you know what's crazy about all this art talk is we like, you and I, we came at a time of like a great like artistic transition from like the Super Nintendo era, where for like limited pixel counts
Oh,
to
yeah.
then like PlayStation 1. Now the 3D stuff are like kind of rough around the edges, like
Oh, yeah.
literally. See what I did there?
Yeah. Nice.
But
Let the
the
puns
2D
flow through
games,
you.
oh no, I'm getting infected with the puns. But like for example, like what is it called? What's that game called? Legend of Mana. I think that's like one of the best examples of
Yeah.
just like beautiful 2D arts that still stands to like the test of time. Like it still looks amazing, like aesthetically. That sort of art style, I really like this like picture book-esque art style. I really like you said, Nomura. I do like his art more than I like him being a director.
Yeah,
Um,
me too. For sure.
but like for
100%.
example, what is that game called? The World Ends with You. It's got amazing
Yeah.
art
Yeah.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
I also do like more modern, more contemporary art style, like the Persona series. I think it's very colorful. It's very great use of aesthetics to blend into the user interface and what have you, right? I think that's the like the important thing that they are drawing to. Like you look at Final Fantasy 7, not the remake but the original game, like the user interface is like bare minimal and it looks like pretty crappy, right? But then
Yeah.
you fast forward to things like P5, and all of a sudden that UI is very much part of the charm of the game as much as anything else. And that's all art too. So maybe I'll just go further to say that's beyond character arts. There's also like the interface and what have you. Just all these wonderful artists in there making it like a grand experience that all ties together.
Oh
So
my
I
God. I know.
appreciate their work. Yeah.
So much of what made Persona 5 such an incredible game was all of the UI that
Hmm.
like everything was also already great, right? But there
Yeah.
was the whole user experience, the whole user
Hmm.
interface that
Yeah.
it did so much. Um by the way, the artist I think that you like from the Mana series is
Hmm.
uh Shinichi Kameoka. I think that's the
Oh,
guy's name. And
nice.
they are currently working as part of Brownie Brown,
Yes,
and
they've made a
Brownies.
new game
Yeah, yeah.
recently. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What was that called?
I
Brownies.
don't remember, but we talked about it on HitPoint.
I even I played a little bit of it. I never ended up making a video about it, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, we
it's kind
definitely
of
did talk about it like last year at some point.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
great question. Thank you so
lots of
much.
great art.
Yeah,
Hope you guys enjoy all that.
yeah. And if you guys have any additional questions that you would like to pose to us via a voicemail, or you could also just send it to us at hitpoint@superdarkrpgs.com and we'll play it on the air. Otherwise, you can leave us a voicemail at 785-337-3805.
Yes. All
So
right. Just
it is
write
time
down
for us
here.
to kind of talk about some of the updates to past releases now. Um, and we're going to lead with Tales of Symphonia. I'm sorry, Tales of Symphonia Remastered. Apparently, they've got a Switch patch that's coming according to Namco Bandai, who has gone on to offer their most sincere apologies for all of the bugs and glitches found in the Switch version of their newest Tales of Symphonia Remastered game. No patch at the moment exists to fix all the issues, but they are hard at work to get that out the door.
They're working on it.
Yeah, but hey,
They're working on it.
luckily, it's far easier to write apologies than it is to write code.
That's true. That is
otherwise,
true.
otherwise they'd probably put that patch out first. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
bummer. It's a
It was
bummer. I mean,
yeah.
because this ties into the whole title, the whole theme of the show is the future is being patched in.
Yeah, and we like the fact that if there must be a fix, that there's at least some avenue to fix the problem. Like if you've done your due diligence, you've done all your QA, and people still make mistakes. It still happens. You
Mhm.
still got one or two things that glitches out, and boy, wouldn't it be nice if you can fix it after the fact, right? Yeah, well, you
Mhm.
can do that through a patch, right? Okay, that's nice. But once you use that as a clutch or outright not doing QA because we can just patch it later. It's fine, right? It doesn't matter. We can cut costs. That's
They're moving
that's
fast and breaking things, right?
yes. Yeah, that's where the problem lies.
Yep.
So it just makes me wonder, are there's like companies just not doing QA anymore? Because like what Legend of Dragoon, that's like the big one recently.
Yeah.
Even more people are talking about the Legend of Dragoon thing than
Yeah, they're
Tales of
talking about it in
Symphonia.
chat right now.
Do
you want to?
Oh God, they are.
Oh yeah, I know. They beat us to the
Yeah.
topic. They've been talking about it this entire show. I think the mention
Oh.
of patch has Dragoon on the mind. So do you want to go
Oh
ahead
no, seriously, yeah.
we don't really have a whole lot written down to talk about Dragoon specifically
Mhm.
right now, but
Yeah.
just for context for anybody who's out of the loop.
Yeah.
So Legend of Dragoon got released over onto PlayStation 5 via
Yes.
PlayStation Plus, and it
Mhm.
tried to incorporate some new features and stuff that apparently didn't do the game any favors, because we
Yeah.
just kind of expect, hey, PlayStation game, yeah, that's going to work fine. Emulators have been around forever. There's no reason this should not work.
And then there it goes, right? Yeah. So all the bugs from the previous game, and the reason why I asked, like, do they not do QA anymore is because all the bugs from the previous game exist. It's like these are known things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, oh well, there are new bugs as the result of the port. We found new bugs and we couldn't catch it in time. I think people would have found that more excusable than all the bugs from the original game are still here. And then to top it all off, the new functionalities that they've added in also causes the game to have issues. So like it's both. It's like the old stuff and new things. So
Yeah.
which makes this debatably worse than just playing it on original hardware, right? Because you just gave them a new set of issues. Uses Dragoon magic would just like lock the game.
Yeah. Now I
So
will say,
I'm like,
when you oh my god.
yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
sorry.
I'll
So
say this while
did you say that
yeah.
Dragoon magic locks the game?
Yes, soft locks the game. Yeah. So, and when I read that, the day I read that there are all these problems,
Like
and
every
all
time
came
or just
back
sometimes?
to me all the time, according to the things I've read, because I haven't played the game, so I haven't played the new version of the port. So
I
take
have
it
not
with
been
a
keeping
grain
up,
of
and
salt.
that is the first
Yeah.
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
That is stupid. That
so
what?
yeah. So while you collect your thoughts, I'm just gonna say that it finally all came back to me. The reason why I never finished that game, because it's so long ago, right? It was
Mhm.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And I keep telling people ask like, oh, have you ever played Legend of Dragoon? And I'm like, well, no, because the loading time was atrocious and it drove me crazy. It was like 10 seconds, 10 seconds out. And I keep thinking that was the reason why. No, it came back to me now. There was all these soft lock issues as well. And yes, Victoria, thank you for the correction. Certain Dragoon magic soft locks the game, not all of them. But you would think that they would have fixed that so it doesn't change our opinion that there are these old bugs and old
Inexcusable for
issues that they just never. I mean, heck, even if they are new problems, like you really should have done your QA and but I digress. So what is the problem? Why are companies just not doing QA? Like do they think that the risk, the expected value of like a PR embarrassment costs less than just hiring a group of people to do QA? Is that what they're thinking? Because it's all comes down to math at the end of the day, right? It's just your bottom line, right? What costs more? So I'm guessing QA costs so much now that they rather take the risk, throw it out there, take the hit, and then may or may not fix it.
Yeah. It's just absolutely wild, because just to throw out a few games that I've also, I mean, I'm sure this is fresh on the minds for a lot of people, but a lot of games that had this, let's throw out Legend of Dragoon. Sure, we got that. Okay. Chrono Cross. Chrono Trigger. Its port to PC was so half-assed. the font in the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. Like
Hmm.
there are so many re-releases that just fell so flat. But I will say, in the case of every Squaresoft RPG that they've released and failed recently,
Hmm.
because Final Fantasy VI doesn't count because that's been a while, and that still sucks on mobile. But for everything else that's on this list that I've mentioned, they have come back and fixed it.
Hmm.
But God, what
Uh,
what
I think what Near Automata, like PC port, they fixed it after like 5 years. Something. I forgot.
uh
I haven't kept touch with the whole PC port situation. I just knew that for the longest time they hadn't fixed it, and it was just like the community just came back. I mean, good old Steam community, like, oh, I've just programmed this thing so that all of you guys can have a better experience.
mhm,
Good on those. Good on those guys.
yeah.
Spending their free time programming for the rest of us because the companies couldn't be bothered to do it.
I mean,
It's
here's the thing.
it's nutty.
At the very least, Square Enix should have had some, or not Square Enix, Sony should have had somebody play the game from start to finish. Like at least once, just to, and that would have easily caught this. Just say, play the game. Take a week, play the game. That is your job for this week.
You would think that. You would think that. And I mean, heck, you know what some indie developers do? Indie developers would just like let reviewers play the oh not reviewers, like let some people play the game
Yeah,
and then just like here,
that's what
if you
early
find any
access
bugs, let
was.
us know. Yeah. You
That's what
find
it
bugs, let
used to
us know.
be.
We'll fix it.
Yeah, that's what early access used to be. Hey, play
I
this
mean,
game.
that's
Let
like
us
free
help us find the fix. Yeah,
QA. Just
exactly.
you don't even have to hire anyone. Just get them to do it. And fans would do it because we want to see a good product.
You know
We'll do it
what?
for free, even.
It wasn't a bug, but as far as Trails from Zero, at
Mhm.
least, I mean, there was some feedback that they received, and then they incorporated that feedback into future updates. It's
Mm.
just, it would be nice if more games just hit it, stuck the landing more often, more recently.
Yeah, it feels like they're definitely slipped more. I mean, games have gotten complex compared to yesteryears. That is true, but technology and software and like testing methodologies have also matured compared to the yesteryears. So
Oh, for
I
sure.
yeah, and we do software development. Like we have an idea. Like I mean, game is just a software at the end of the day. So a lot of
Hmm.
the testing methodologies are still the same, and there's really no reason why they have that many bugs and glitches. Like some, yes, okay, I get that. Inevitable, people make mistake, but boy, this is this is crazy amount. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I want to hear what chat thinks. Like, what do you guys think? Like, leave it in the comments because it's really hard to read all the chat. But like, I love all the discussions. Get your neurons going. But definitely post in the comments so we can read later. What do you guys think are some of the worst, like most like
Egregious.
egregious,
Yeah.
bugs and glitches that they just like let slide in new games or ports? Let us know. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Grandia 2 on Switch used to crash
Grandia
a
2 on Switch.
lot. That was another one.
I remember I forgot what game it was that like straight up like breaks your system. I think those are the most egregious.
Oh,
Yeah, like forget slowdown glitches,
yeah. I
bad
think I
frame
think
rates.
Grandia
No, I mean
2 would
like
cause hard crashes. I think it used to
yeah,
cause hard crashes.
when it breaks your system. I don't think
Yeah.
anything gets worse than that. All right. Let's move on to the next update to a past release. This one is a relatively new release.
Mhm.
It's for Redemption Reapers. Binary Haze announced that they'll be bringing the physical release, the physical edition of their newest strategy RPG, Redemption Reapers. The pre-orders are planning to begin April of this year. So, if you are a collector of physical games like myself, and if Redemption Reapers was something on your list that you thought about trying, but man, wish that they had a physical copy. Well, now it's coming, and it's going to be April. You're welcome.
You could just say my name, Baku. You don't have to go about roundabout ways like that.
Was an open. Okay, fine. Derek.
All right, let's move along to the games that are coming out this week, starting with this post-apocalyptic caretaking dungeon exploring RPG Void Terrarium 2, which is coming out in just 2 days on the 18th. Or no, sorry, the 28th. It's coming out for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. This is a creepy, cutesy something game. Let's check out the trailer for a quick reminder for everybody.
Yes.
This is definitely gonna I'm pretty sure this is gonna make you cry.
Yeah, this is one of those like prepare to cry kind of game, I'm sure.
And it's got a demo right now if you want to give it a shot, guys.
I think there's a series of games that I think this is Nipponichi. I'm pretty sure this is Nipponichi. And I think they have like a series of games basically that are just there to make you cry, and it has a very similar like art style.
They're just there to stab you in the heart, twist you
like,
around a little bit.
What's that game called? The hold on. I'm gonna look that up. Oh god. Hold on. Oh, the Cruel King and the Great Hero. Remember I told you about that? Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's Nipponichi. And it is Nipponichi. And then I think this is Nipponichi.
Yep.
And then what is it? The blind prince and the liar princess, I think it's called. The liar princess and the blind prince. I forgot. That's like another like tearjerker deal. So yeah, and they have very similar art style. Yeah, this is futuristic, post-apocalyptic. Those are more picture book-esque, but
why are they all trying to make me sad?
They're trying to make you feel things.
I don't like it. I don't like it. When I want to feel things, I play Trails, and that's it.
Friendship. Oh my god. So how? Okay, well, honest question. How are all the like friendship talks in Cold Steel?
About the same as you grown to expect after playing Zero and Azure. Oh, you haven't played Zero and Azure yet?
I have not. Do everyone stare at each other and give that like nod of approval after?
No.
Oh, they don't.
It's funny because like it's one person in each of these games who gives like the big long like, okay, here's
Speech.
my pep up talk for everybody. You know?
Okay.
And everybody's like, dude, you seriously doing this now? Like everybody's like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this again. Like, haven't we talked to you about these pep up speeches? Like, come on, you're embarrassing us, man. It's like legitimately like the response
walk and talk
all the time.
Like, mind you giving a grand speech, but we're in a hurry. Please learn to walk and talk at the same time.
You know, that is something that they did implement in the Cold Steel series that is kind of nice. Are these infinite loops of like backgrounds as you're walking, so as you're talking. Oh, good. Okay, fine. It takes some of that edge off, you know.
Man, I always feel like that's the running joke for the at least the Trails in the Sky story for me was they can save the world, they can fight gods, but they cannot walk and talk at the same time.
Oh, for sure. Oh, and I guess that at the end of some of those, like, you know, this is our mission, like everybody kind of ends with that, you know, sort of confirmation, right? You know, yeah. Let's do
Everyone
it.
just stares at her and nods in unison.
There is a little bit of that.
Oh boy,
but that's
very
really
anime.
in the very serious, you know, moments of the game where things are getting, you know,
Aren't
I don't want to spoil
these serious moments.
I'm not gonna spoil this for you any more than I already have Baku.
Context, man. I don't care. Haha. Anyways, well, let's move on so I can avoid spoilers. By the way, yeah, demo is out for the Void Terrarium. I forgot if we said it, but it's there. So yeah, go play that game. Anyways, so moving on. Derek, we're now 2 months into the new year. Are you looking for a fun way to get some exercise in? Because Nintendo's got you covered with the fitness boxing, Fist of the North Star, coming out in March the 2nd. Oh my God, March is coming. March is right around the corner.
That's right. You mean Trails Month? Hiseki month.
Yes, the month of Trails.
Yeah, that's right. I don't have much time. I need to brand this really quickly.
Yeah.
Let's watch this trailer.
Yeah. I had to include this because this is just so fun. I know it's not an RPG. No one's trying to convince you otherwise.
Are you sure? I think this falls under niche news. Because Who likes to work out? You know, that's niche.
I'm trying to find a fun way to work out. Look, if
fitness
this
is
gets
so
me
niche.
moving, I'm willing to buy this if it gets me moving.
Fitness is
Look at
so
that.
niche.
Look at
man.
that. Look at that boxing. Yeah, look
Oh,
at that.
yeah.
Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Get the rhythm.
Yeah.
You get to fight baddies.
You know, I will say, fitness video games can definitely be an inspiration.
Look, this is about as fun as it gets. If this doesn't get you off the couch and move a little bit, nothing will. Look at all this. You can
Bro.
Oh my god, that terrible voice
that'd be really
acting
tiring.
from the narrator.
That would be extremely tiring. So you're gonna live stream that?
I just might, dude. I just might.
So Ring Fit Adventure. That's an RPG, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. You level up and stuff.
So go ahead and finish talking about this, and then I want to take a sidetrack to talk about Ring Fit for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, so this is coming out on March 2nd. Okay, we're done.
All right. So Ring Fit Adventure, I will tell you that it inspired me to embark on my weight loss journey.
Really?
It did.
Wow.
So I just when Ring Fit Adventure just came out,
Mhm.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna play this a little bit, and I was like going through the step-by-step instructions, and I was reading along. You squeeze the thing to like move the story forward or the narration forward. And I was just talking out loud. I wasn't streaming this. This was in my private, the privacy of my own home. Amy's recording it, and it's like, all right, this is fun. This is gonna be a little bit of a workout thing. I see the video later, and I'm like, oh my god, that's what I look like.
I'm so out of shape.
I mean, I wasn't even really working out for the part of the video I was looking at. It just so happened that I was like, all right, I'm gonna, do this thing, and I'm just talking. And Amy took that video of me, and I'm like, man, I do not like the way that I look, and I never played it since then. Ring Fit did not help me
Really?
lose any weight. Ring Fit did not, but it was it was definitely one of the turning
Trigger?
points. Yeah, when I was just like, oh my gosh, I
Mhm.
need to do something. So
Well, I'm glad you did, man. Like you're. I mean, I hope you're feeling better because at the end of the day, that's what really matters,
So
right? Because
much
that's
better.
your health and what have you.
yeah, you could say that it was a weight off of my shoulders, about 70 pounds of it. But yeah, it was, and it's still going on,
Oh, yeah.
still working on it. But so I don't want to say that like fitness video games aren't like, I mean, they're a great way to get you, back in shape. If it gets you up and moving, that's good for you no matter what.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's just the weird roundabout way that Ring Fit actually helped me get a little healthier by accidentally shaming me.
Whatever tool helps you like
Just
get to your fitness
shame.
goal, then just do that, right? Like it doesn't
For
have to work
sure.
for everyone. Nothing works for everyone.
No,
Like just like there are no games that everyone loves.
that's for sure.
This is the same.
All
Yeah,
right.
man. All right.
Let's move along to Wolong Fallen Dynasty. This is probably going to be the biggest release of the week. Wolong Fallen Dynasty by Team Ninja will be releasing on the 3rd of March.
Yes.
PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, and PC. And we have a trailer we can watch of it right now as
Ooh,
well.
let's do it.
Okay.
Team Ninja, man. I'm expecting a lot of articles for Wolong to come out next week. It's gonna be all these guides, all these people who are now done with like I don't know, like some people who are probably done with what's that game called? that Harry Potter game. Some people who might be done with like Wild Hearts.
Oh
Some
yeah,
people who are done with 18. I don't know how they beat it so fast. They're probably gonna play this now.
yeah. I mean, it's a good looking game.
Yeah. If you're thinking like Ninja Gaiden or like Souls-ish games with like difficult boss fights, that's probably what we're looking at. More Ninja Gaiden than not, because Team Ninja.
Sure.
But yeah,
I mean,
but
it's
I'm pretty
kind of their
sure,
shtick. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be for those sort of people who are into like highly difficult gameplay, and very methodical. Actually, maybe a little less methodical than Souls, because they tend to be a little faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, but we'll see. It looks incredible. So
I will say also that there is also a demo currently available for Wolong Final and Dynasty as well. And it's going to be available until the 26th of the month, of next month. So about 1
yeah,
month from now.
yeah.
Go
It's
give it a
it's a
shot
very
if you're on the
weird timed
fence.
demo. I don't really understand that, but
I mean, maybe it's just like, I don't know. You would,
artificial scarcity
yeah,
makes you
maybe.
feel like, oh, you're missing out. Oh, it's gonna. If it's just infinitely there, then you might not have a sense of agency to do it.
Yeah, that might be true.
Hmm.
There could be some of that. It could also just be like maybe it costs money to have a demo available, to have extra listings.
I I don't think so, because remember we talked about it. Sony wants you to have demo. It's like almost
Oh
part of
yeah.
their like service. Like they want you to have
Maybe that's
demos.
why they want you to, because it costs you money. That would be 4D chess there.
No, they made it like mandatory for certain publisher. They talked
Oh,
about it. Yeah,
oh,
they made
I
it
don't remember that.
mandatory.
We did talk about that once though, didn't we?
Yeah. So I'm just like, well, I mean, it's
I mean,
gonna
hey,
be there.
it's working
If
out.
they charge extra, that's messed up.
I love that they are returning the demo back to us though, because God, I remember there used to be demos all the time, and it felt like for the longest time there were none. And
One
now,
of these days, I do want to talk about demos. We should have a conversation about demos, because there's pros and cons to demos. I mean, the pro side is basically exactly what you said. Like you get
mhm,
to try the game out. You can have a more informed decision. You don't have to depend on reviewers. You can just test it yourself. But
yeah,
there's also the downside of demo, which is that it adds extra work to the game developers, because they can't just like take a part of the game and then just make a demo. They have to spend extra time to make a demo,
sure,
that they could have spent that time on actually just working on the game. They could cherry pick the best pieces in the demo. So in
mhm.
that sense, it's misleading.
But
There are
isn't that what
downsides.
a demo is supposed to be anyway? Kind of like a cherry picking of like putting your
Uh,
best foot forward. Like that just seems smart, I think.
Yes, but to the point of where it's almost deceptive. Like this is so good, and then the rest of the game is like
Yeah.
not like
If it's
this
not
at all.
representative in general
Yeah.
of the rest of the experience, yeah, that would really be shady.
Yeah. But hey, trust companies to do the right thing. Am I right? All these bugs and glitches.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, if there's a way for them to cheap out and do worse, they will, because
Yeah.
companies will. So yeah. So one of these days we should talk about that. But anyways, let's move on to some new game announcements, shall we?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There aren't that many new game announcements, but there are some. Yes. Starting off, we have Idea Factory announcing their newest game, Fairy Fencer F, Refrain Chord, is now finally coming to the West. We knew this was
Oh
probably going to
yeah.
happen, because it's Idea Factory. It was just a matter of when. So a little background. This is the follow-up to the Fairy Fencer F game. I wrote it wrong. I wrote the one from 2013, but I just read before the show. Actually, this is the follow-up to the the Dark Advent game. So
Oh, okay.
the newer remake. Long short is there was an original Fairy Fencer F game from 2013, and then they did like basically a remake of the game with like new additional stories and what have you. And then there's this like part in that very end of that game that seems to be like a cliffhanger, introduces new characters that we've never seen before,
Mhm.
and then they never like followed up with anything
Oh no.
until now.
Oh, and until now. Okay.
Until now. So this game, they didn't confirm it in the beginning when they first released the game, but
Yeah.
now that I'm reading it, now that this game's been out since September in Japan, I think we can confidently say that this actually does follow the Dark Advent timeline with the canon ending.
Okay.
So you will be seeing characters from there, or at least you should see characters from there. I'd be surprised if you don't. Now, so this game will follow the series protagonists Fang, Aaron, and Tiara in their journey to resurrect the goddess. Characters like Harley, Galdo, Ethel, and Sherman from the previous game will also make a return as well. So let's take a look at that trailer.
Okay. Let's pull that
So
up. Here.
I got the I didn't get the latest trailer because the latest trailer that the US site has is just the opening video that doesn't tell you how the game looks. So I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of dumb. So I went and grabbed like an older trailer that actually shows some gameplay from Japan. I think that's a little bit more representative of what you should expect from the game, which honestly, that's probably what you all care about more.
Okay. I was like, okay, it's gonna show something at some point, right? Okay,
Yeah,
here it is.
It's coming. Yeah, so it's a grid-based
Oh.
tactic RPG. It is not a turn-based RPG like the previous game. So for the fans
Okay.
who are looking forward to another turn-based adventure, that's not going to be for this game at least. But it actually looks pretty good for tactical RPG.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I,
it says September because that's a Japan release. But again, the purpose of that is just to show you what the gameplay is like, which there's no English
Yeah.
alternative. So the
I don't
correct
hate it.
date,
It looks pretty good.
yeah, the correct date for this release, for the Western release, is April 25th of this year, releasing on PS4, 5, Switch, and PC. The pre-order for the limited edition, actually the pre-order at all, will begin in February 28th. So in 2 days, they will open the
cool.
pre-order exclusively at the IF store. Sorry, the limited edition is exclusive at the IF store. It will come with a hardcover art book, a music book, which is really strange. I've never seen that before. A
Well, it seems like
soundtrack
it's
and
musically related the game, so it's
it
kind of like
is,
an interesting
yeah.
feely, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. It's just I've never seen a music book for a limited edition thing before. So hey, if you're like musically inclined and you want to potentially use the score and just like play it yourself, it might not be bad. It might actually be pretty cool. And it also comes with a steel game case, and I kind of want to talk about that because I have mixed some of the best steel cases. Like they're not like the standard like small kind. They're like larger than, and they're like really pretty. I don't know what they do with it, but it's super nice. So
do you have a picture of that you want to share, or
hold on, I can look it up real quick.
okay, because I remember I thought I popped in during one of your streams and you were taking a look at the steelbook for it. Is that right? And
no,
I was
taking a look at the I was taking a look at the Octopath Traveler.
Oh, the Octopath Traveler
steelbook.
Okay.
Which, by the way, hold on. I will. Hold on. Let me pop it up. Yeah, I have it.
Oh, you do? Oh, it's on your screen now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like larger than the usual steelbook case for PS4. And it's like full metal. It's fully colored. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
So there you go. Not even just this particular one, but just like IF in general makes like pretty cool looking steel cases. Yeah. So the one that I was looking at was the Octopath Traveler one, which is the
Best Buy
pre-order bonus from Best Buy.
Yeah.
Which I missed because I pre-ordered my game from Square Enix because I got the collector's edition thing. But then Square Enix didn't give me a steel case because that just didn't come with it. And now I'm like, why the heck did not?
Yeah.
Like, come on, like I'm paying extra. Give me the steel case. It's like $10, but less than $10 for them to make. I just don't know why they didn't include it. So now I'm like slightly upset with Square Enix.
Okay.
More than usual. But you know what I did? I definitely pre-ordered. No, I ordered another copy of Octopath Traveler 2 from Best Buy. And I'm probably gonna sell the game just keep the steel case.
Well, I don't have a copy for myself. If you're looking for someone to buy it off you, just hit me up
Wink.
later.
Wink.
I'm
I'll holler at you.
all right. So that brings us to our next title on the list, which has nothing to do with steelbooks. It's called The Caligula Effect Overdose. Because
Yes.
just when you thought that you were done hearing about Caligula Effect Overdose, well, here's more. NISA have announced another port of the Caligula Effect Overdose. This time
Yes.
it's coming to PlayStation 5. There's no exact date at this time yet, but it is planned to come out sometime in 2023. Also, no exclusive features for the port have been announced yet, but I mean, we hope that there will be. So yeah, I mean, let's hope it's not just a straightforward port, because this game was originally released on the Vita, and then Overdose, I think, was when it was ported to Nintendo Switch, right?
Overdose is actually
And-
the remake.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
like
remade it.
a remake for Switch.
Yeah.
And then okay, and then now they're porting that to PS5. So
well, I think they got it on PS4 and PC. So
Was it
but now
also-
it's coming to PS5.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely on PC because I played it on PC. Yeah, but I mean, we definitely hope that there's some enhancements, like frame rates, like small things, like small quality of life things. We're not hoping for like brand new
120
dungeon, new
frames-
characters, like
120
crazy
frames
things.
or bust. No, you played this before on PC. What did you think of it, by the way? Can I?
The Caligula effect.
Yeah.
I thought the battle was interesting. I think it's kind of innovative. The music is definitely one of the strong points of this game, both for the first game and the second game. I didn't get too far in. Like I basically got like a review copy, and then I just played for like a little bit. Yeah, because I was just like working on other things. I never came back to it, but. I think that if you are going to be if you're a Persona fan, you may find some parallels that you can draw that you may find it enjoyable or not. But because, well, I wrote this, but
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
the game story is written by like a Persona veteran, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It
Tadashi
also-
Satami.
That's right. And I got worked on with some Persona staff, right? So
yeah.
there's definitely some DNA in this game that will scream Persona at you. Either it's the setting. Actually, you know what? The setting of this game reminds me a lot about Angel Beats.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, without spoiling, I mean, this is kind of part of the premise is that you're in a virtual.
Stop spoiling the game, Baku. Jeez. We don't
You're
look
in
at
a
the
high
trailer.
school in a virtual world. Yeah, let's
Oh,
look at the trailer as we talk about it. Yeah, you're in a high school in a virtual world, and you're basically banding together to kind of fight against the system, which is very similar in theme to Angel Beats.
Yeah.
Not one to one, of course, but
course.
you will get like a certain feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Wait, hold on. This is not the right one.
Oh.
Did I give you the wrong link?
Oh. Yeah. No, maybe you didn't. Maybe I just didn't add. Hang on. We're looking at the
It
right.
would help.
Yep.
Oh no, you did. It's here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
right-
I had to
right
skip
under
it. I
Wolong.
see it. I see it. I
Yeah.
skipped it because the order got changed.
Oh.
Baku went and changed stuff on me. Everybody just forget that, what you just saw. Yeah, this is it.
Music in this game is phenomenal.
Oh god, that is so Persona-y.
Yeah. The art's actually also pretty nice. But the music just like takes the cake for me for Caligula Effect 1 and 2. So like the way that the battle works is like there's like a timeline where you have to change your attacks in a way you plan it out so that like if you can imagine like editing a video,
Yeah.
like
I can
all your
imagine that.
actions you have like multiple timeline for the characters and like you have to like move them around, use different skills so that they like can combo into like the enemies, if you will. And after after you use a certain action, there are like cooldown time where you can't like really move, and like obviously the larger the attack, the longer the wait time until the person can move, for example. So that
Yeah.
you're vulnerable to your attacks, and you have to like watch, how your enemies may, try to come back at you, if that makes sense. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of like strategic play in there. It's turn based, but not the kind of turn based that you're thinking
It's a
about.
little bit of a twist on this system.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty innovative. It's very interesting. It's very fun, and once you get the hang of it, like it's actually like very strategic. So, and
Cool.
placement also matters. So you have to
Yeah.
move your characters about the map, and then you
Kind
have
of
to think about the
tactical.
timeline. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
It's hard, but it's fun.
Oh, maybe I'll check that out at some point.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a little bit of additional news here to talk about here. You want to tell us about what we didn't just watch a little bit of? Oh, wait. Well, whatever
Also,
order you feel.
I just saw someone says like Caligula effect and Itis Something Files. They're not even remotely the same. Itis Something Files, the point and click,
Mhm.
sci-fi murder mystery. Caligula effects is like a Persona like turn-based RPG.
By the guy who's not with them anymore. Like this guy split
Yeah.
from Persona team before or around Persona 3. Like
Yeah.
if I recall correctly.
Actually, no, I don't know if this was the case because there's another game called Monarch.
Oh, maybe
Actually,
that's what
no.
I'm thinking of.
No. Hold on. I got it wrong. Monarch was from the people who worked on Persona 1 and 2. So it has that like
Oh,
feel.
okay.
And then
Yep.
Caligula came from people who worked on like 3 and so on. So like the modern Persona team and like the old Persona team, they all went on to
Okay.
make like another game.
All right. Here, I thought I was
Yeah.
being smart, but I'm not. So disregard
No,
what I
you
was
were
saying.
close. But
Okay.
you were close. Yes.
I had the right idea. My heart was in the right spot. My brain wasn't.
Yeah. At least like that's what I think happened. So like my recollection could be wrong. But I just know that one of them is like the 1 and 2 team, one of them is like the 3 team. So like they have like a slightly different feel. And yes, I know a lot of people will tell you like, oh, don't say that this is just like a Persona clone. And it isn't. But I think it's fair to draw a parallel to Persona on this game.
Yeah.
And the reason is, so when they reached out for me to review the game, they even wrote in there, like as part of the sell pitch, that, oh, this is, worked on by some of the Persona teams. So like, look, if it's part of the sales pitch, then it's fair game to compare, right? So that's what I'm gonna say to that. But no, you shouldn't look at them like they're 1-to-1. If you like Persona, you have to like this. Not necessarily. It is still a different game. Just has a very, similar feel. You might like it.
Cool.
All right. But moving on. So, okay, we're gonna do something a little different. Okay, because we don't typically cover games as a general rule on the show that don't have a Western release information yet. But since our news cycle is pretty slow this week, we can afford to talk about 2 games that just got announced in Japan that may come to the West in the future. And the first game that we've got is called Crymachina, which I don't have a trailer on because there's so little information on it right now that there is a teaser site that I guess I could pull up. Should I pull up the teaser site?
Oh, sure. We could look at it if you
Hold on.
got a link.
Give me 1 second. I have the link right now. Okay.
All right.
Do you see it?
I see it.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. Sorry. Let me click on sound. Yeah. So, I mean, that's all we've got is the Crymachina site. And this is from Fudu. And there's a countdown timer that should open like literally 1st of March. So I think we'll know more at that point. But that's the teaser site. So Fudu announced this new game called Crymachina. Obviously, it has the teaser site that I just showed you. And so we'll get more information and we'll keep an eye on it. Many fans are speculating that this is a sequel to a game called Crystar, which also came from Fudu in 2018. It was an action RPG. But I don't necessarily think that might be the case just because of the art style that they are showing right
a little
here.
divergent so far.
Yeah, seems pretty different, but it could be. I mean, there's that cry thing going on, but who knows what that means? Yeah. This
Yeah.
one feels more mechanical. Like I can see like the Japanese title on the right hand side, and
Yeah.
like there's I mean machina. Like yeah, I know mechanical, but like it kind of like spells it out in the kanji too. So
Mhm.
which would be very different from Crystar, which has a more like magical, fairy tale esque kind of feel to it. But I digress. We don't know. It's a speculation. We will know in like 2 days. So
Yeah.
let us figure that out when we get
Yeah.
there.
We'll fill you in next week.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. We'll see what this game is about then. Um, let's talk about one other game that we do have just a bit more information on, and that is a new game from Nipponichi, a new RPG that is centered around the theme of superpowers and school. Of course,
Mhm.
Japan. Of course, you would.
Sure.
And the game is called Xicatrice. Xicatrice, yes.
So I think it might be so the way it's spelled out is with an
Mhm.
X, but
Yes.
it's kind of spelled like cockatrice, which is kind of like a
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
so it's kind of like a different kind of like a basilisk. So I don't know
It's
if
like it's like a
like
scar tissue
like a
thing.
cicatrice or something like that.
It's yeah, it's like Cicatrice. Like if you replace the X with a C.
Oh yeah, Google tries to autocorrect to that. I'm like, oh, that looks gross,
Yeah,
but I think it might be like a she, like XI or.
could be.
But
Yeah.
anyways, so I think it's that plus maybe like the end of like cockatrice, which is like a fictional you know, a fictional monster, right?
Hmm.
Kind of like a basilisk or something. But
Yes. I mean,
anyways,
I think the title would make sense in a second. So, so in this game, you play as the instructor
mhm.
and leader to a group of 7 high school students who all have superpowers, of course, and they're all training to combat these like otherworldly monsters, right?
Oh, so it's BNHA then.
Kind of, actually. Instead of corks, right?
Yeah.
They have superpowers. Depending on your interactions in the game, your students may overload and go berserk due to their emotional scars and so
Oh.
scar tissue, which will lead to various bad ends. So there will be many, many, many bad ends, many ways that the story will unfold and go completely south. You will see a lot of terrible
Uh-huh.
scenes and lots of heartaches. But each time you get one of these bad endings, you'll get some bonuses that'll help you do better the next time around to avoid the tragedy. So not only will you know what not to do, so you can avoid like the making the wrong choices, it'll also give you like bonuses to help you along the way, so you
Okay.
won't fail next time. We do have a trailer that we can look at it, so you can see what this game looks like.
All right. Let's take a look here. You know, something about this looks awful familiar. I can't quite put
I
my
don't know
finger on
what
it.
it is about like the character design that makes it feels similar to a certain game that I've seen in the past.
I mean, it's almost like I just saw this trailer a few minutes ago.
Is it the same? Is it the same artist?
No, it's legitimately we started watching this review or trailer earlier.
Yeah, see, these are all the different characters that you can play as. Obviously, they all
Look at
have
all
different
these emotionally damaged
personalities,
people.
different weapons, different back histories, different scars that they carry on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your job as their instructor and leader to understand them and guide them towards the right path and not like get them killed, basically.
Okay.
A lot of responsibilities, but that's what it means to be a leader. You know, you are in charge of this operation, you own it, and if you messed up, they die.
Sweet.
Or they could die. I think it's pretty good. I think this almost gives me a slight feel like the 13th Sentinel kind of kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Xicatrice.
Like
So
Xicatrice
there
or
you, yeah,
something. It's hard to
something like that.
say
I have
whatever that
no
is, but
idea. Yeah,
yeah.
but definitely an interesting game. There are some screenshots floating around that shows, that it's like a turn-based RPG and what have you. But we just don't have like a video for it. So it's out there if you want to look it up. I don't know if they have like a teaser site up yet, but I would imagine that they do have a site, probably at the video link that we'll provide in the description. We'll probably take you to the site too. So if you
Yeah.
want to see more of that, you're definitely welcome to take a look. So I'll probably end by saying this. We probably won't be talking about these games again until we get Western release information, because honestly, we don't want to throw it out there and give you guys the impression that, oh, this is coming like to us soon. So I'm not even going to talk about release date for any of these games at all, because until they give us some Western release information, honestly, if you can read Japanese and you're inclined to play it that way, you don't really need us to tell you. Like, you can probably figure it out.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
so.
but we'll let you all know once there's a Western release information, or international release information, maybe I should say. We'll come back to that.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move us along into some industry news when we're going to talk a little bit about Shinji Mikami, who's stepping down from Tango Gameworks.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, this legendary game director, Shinji Mikami, will be departing from Tango Gameworks, Bethesda has confirmed in an official tweet. Some notable works that Mikami has worked on includes the original Resident Evil, The Evil Within, Dino Crisis, Vanquish, and many more. We don't really have any reasons for his departure at this time, and really no news as to what he'll be doing after this. So
Yeah. He's like, even in his tenure in Tango Gameworks, he's like slowly stepped away. Like, he's let other people direct. For example, what is that new game that like was just like a big like sleeper hit? Hi-Fi?
Oh yeah,
Hi-Fi something?
Hi-Fi
Yeah,
Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah. So that was directed by somebody else. And so like he's like basically like stepping away from like the director role. Like, he was like
Yeah.
just offering guidance to his juniors that are stepping up. And I think maybe with like these like recent success, he just finally feels like it's time for him to move on to do something else. He's
Hmm.
not being complacent. He's not sticking around. He's letting people move up. I think that's pretty cool. Just I mean, I could be reading into it. I could be completely wrong. But just the fact that everything kind of lines up and tells the story.
Yeah.
I don't have confirmation, but
Sure.
that really does sound like he had planned this, and he was slowly stepping down and
Been
just
making some
slowly
moves
letting other
to
people take bigger roles.
disengaging and kind of
Yeah, disengaging. I mean,
bringing up other
that's as
people.
good as you can ever like hope someone would do, because we do need to have room for like new people to step up and take more senior position and bring new ideas, instead of just
Yeah.
like old guards sticking around and just like never moving, never changing, and then you end up having like Square Enix. Another way to rip them. I will always find ways. I love it when people are like, "Oh, you're a Square Enix fanboy." I'm like, I am.
Square Enix
What
would
do
be surprised to hear that.
mean? Have you not seen last week's HitPoint when I ripped them, and the week before that? But anyways, yeah, no, pretty interesting. It will be interesting to see what he does next, Derek. Do you like any of the games that he's made in the past? Have you played any of them?
I don't know. I don't think I've played any of them. Yeah,
You
never
should try
played
it,
Dino
man.
Crisis. Never played the original Resident Evil. Never really did Evil with it. None of it. So
Man,
I mean,
we should get you to
I haven't played any games with evil in the name.
play some of these games. I mean, yeah. I saw someone says God Hand. Look, there are many games. I'm not listing all of them. There are many. We just threw in a couple just to say yes, he's a very decorated and accomplished person, veteran in
I'm gonna
this
go look up his
sphere.
IMDb real quick.
Yeah. Man has many games under his belt.
I'll find out if he's made
yeah.
anything that I've actually played.
I mean, it's crazy because I think he co-founded Tango Gameworks too. So it's not like he just got hired and now he's just leaving. Like this is like
Yeah.
part of like he made this studio. Square Enix the low hanging fruit at this point. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's not going to stop me from ripping them. They're huge. They're a huge company. They can take a hit or two from a little old me. So you know.
Oh! Hang on. I have played a little bit of Goof Troop, which he was a designer of on the Super Nintendo. A little bit of that.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know about that.
Oh,
What
he
was
was
that
an
game about?
advisor in Onimusha Warlords.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. That's during his like Capcom times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else? Beautiful Joe. Yeah, he was
Oh
executive
yeah,
producer
definitely.
of that. Played a little
Definitely.
bit of that. Oh, he was
Boy.
the voice of Takahashi in Fallout 4.
Was he?
Yes, Japanese voice of Takahashi.
That is so cool, man. Just makes me wonder, what am I doing with my life? Why couldn't I do something like this? Why can't I live like this life? Like, why
Baku,
can I?
it's because you're busy playing RPGs and hanging out with me. I hate to break it to you, but this is what you're traded it
Dang
in
it.
for.
I should have learned Japanese fluently and then learn how to design games and fly over Japan and start a new life. Maybe I too can be featured in a fall game. All right.
That's the best as I got.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So next up on industry news, I think this is going to be pretty cool for a kind of a PSA. The Level 5 Vision 2023 Tsuzumi live stream event will happen in March 9th, 2023 at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Central Time. Way too early for me to wake up for this. And 8 p.m. Japan Standard Time in case, Eastern Time and Central Times means nothing to you. There you go, 8 p.m. Japan local time. So you can figure out your time zone from there. And that has been announced, and you will be able to see this event via Level 5's official YouTube channel, which we will link. Actually, no, we'll link the event link down below.
Okay.
The event will feature some new details about recently announced games like Professor Layton and the New War of Steam, Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, and what I'm really interested in, Deca Police. Is that new Level 5 turn-based RPG that's
right.
coming.
I forgot about that for a second. Yes. That's the one that has that like 80s, 90s looking anime style. Oh.
Yeah, that game. Oh my god, that looks so good. I mean, the typical Level 5 like goodness, but then a new IP from Level 5 and it's a turn-based RPG. Boom, you just like hit all the right places. I am so excited for it. It's like detective police work and then there's like the turn-based combat. So I can't wait to see how they'll pull this off. They'll talk more about it during the event. Again, the stream will be set in March 9th. There will be English subtitle, I believe, English translation. So, I think English and Chinese translation. So don't worry about like not knowing what they're talking about. Like I'm pretty sure on the event page it says that there are translations. So, so March 9th. When is that exactly? Hold on. That's a little over a week from now. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Alrighty.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Hey, so again, link in the description.
Tell you what, guys, if you're a fan of like a Dragon or the Yakuza series, like I'm about to be, SAGA has got a treat for you. Their YouTube channel recently released 2 behind the scenes Like a Dragon videos. Each one is about like 19-20 minutes long or so, that interviews the developers and shows what development looked like for the beloved franchise. Videos like these definitely help you appreciate a series and perhaps even the development process of video games a bit more. So go check them out if you're interested. There will be links to Sega West's YouTube channel down below. Otherwise, you could do a search for it and I'll pull it up
Yeah,
too.
you can probably find it pretty quickly. Yeah, 20 minutes long of just like interviews behind.
Two of them.
The one that I was watching, they were doing like mocap stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I think a lot of people who are watching our channel, you might be aspiring game developers, right? You're going through school, you want to get into the industry. I mean,
know I am.
that's kind well, Derek. Is that your new aspiration? You want to get into the game industry
Well, I was
now?
thinking about getting into voice acting, but then it turns
Oh,
out
that's fair.
AI is taking it over. So
Not yet. You can
I know.
still get
I'm
into the
just
voice.
kidding.
You can still do it. I believe in you, Derek.
don't
But yeah,
quit believing.
but yeah, I think it's really fun seeing these sort of game development. It really does make you appreciate the games that we're playing. Yes, we are harsh. We criticize the games there, but at the end of
I
the day, they
criticize
are.
management way more than the developers
Oh yeah,
themselves.
absolutely. Pricing and like business practices
Yeah.
way more than the games themselves. Yeah,
I
but
love developers. Management sucks. Always.
management's a
Developers are
doo-doo.
great. Especially project managers.
Yeah, project managers are the worst. What do
The
they even
absolute
do?
worst.
They manage projects? What does that even mean?
I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Projects tend to manage themselves as far as I'm concerned.
Projects always manage themselves until they don't. But yeah, check it out. I watched the first I watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one yet, but it was really fun. Yeah, the guys are so chill. It gives you a sense of like the personality behind the game and then like the game itself, and you're just like, oh my god, yes, you did create this game because of course you would,
because it's
you
got
would
their
have that
fingerprints all over it.
personality. Yeah, it's so nice. So maybe Derek, for you, maybe I'll recommend watching it after you experience Like a Dragon,
Probably
because then you can go back and be like, oh, this guy developed it. Well, yeah, now it makes sense.
makes sense.
It would be you. Yeah. Speaking of, did you guys know that Derek will be streaming Like a Dragon after a year of shaming?
Oh man, it's gonna be so great.
SuperDerek RPG at
At
twitch.tv.
least that's what Baku keeps telling me. It's gonna be so great.
No, I think it's so great that you're playing it. I don't know if the game is going to be great for you.
Oh.
I just like the fact that you are playing the game.
You just like having that power over me where you have convinced me to play the game. This is it. This is Baku.
Just a little
Baku's
bit.
playing the long game. Now that he
Just
knows.
a little bit. It's taken a year, so it'll be another year before we can convince you to play something else. Got to start now, guys. Got to start shaming Derek on Twitter now. All right, this brings us to nearing the end of the show. The last piece of news is finally coming in, and it's about merch drops. This time it's not about figures, but about a book, specifically a book called Blood Echoes, a Bloodborne Anthology. So there's a new Bloodborne book with that title, and that is going to be published by Tune and Fair Weather. The anthology will feature a variety of essays and interviews on the game, including an out-of-print interview with director Hidetaka Miyazaki, and new interviews with composer Ryan Amon, and also with notable community members such as Chase Maurici, who holds the Bloodborne speedrun world record, so, among other things.
Well, that's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, and I think another person that they're interviewing is remember how we talked about like the PlayStation DMIC for Bloodborne?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they interviewed that guy.
And
because he's a notable
Bloodborne
member.
card.
Yeah. So it's super cool. So
that's so
if you are a fan of Bloodborne, or if you want to get something for a person who is a fan of Bloodborne and just, man, you have no idea what to get them, this could be it. This could be like a memorabilia that they didn't know about that you could just surprise them with. So we'll leave a link in the description as usual, and you can take a look to see if that's something that may interest you or someone that you want to get a gift for.
All right.
All right.
That brings us to the final segment of the show when we respond to some super chats that we've received throughout the show. We've got a couple here to get through here, starting with one from Still Alive who asks, you might have already talked about this already. I think we did. But what were your thoughts on Namco half-assing the Tales of Symphonia Remaster? SMH.
Did this come before we talked about it or afterwards?
I think this was
'Cause
after.
We
I think,
totally talked about it.
but that's all right because we can talk about it again. Well,
Yeah, you know what? Just for you, it's still alive. We'll rip them again.
oh yeah, this is a horse that deserves to be beaten. Let's be real. Just like Namco Bandai's management themselves. Project manager for Namco Bandai needs to be flogged.
Terrible project managers, man. They just manage your projects. Project managers, God, you have one job. You couldn't do it right.
and it was everybody else's job.
No, but seriously, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about it.
I'm just
really quickly again about Tales of Symphonia. Anyways, we were not like we were kind of surprised that they would pull this remaster move anyways, because they released Tales of Symphonia on PC, right? So there's already the PC port. Yeah. And that should be like the relatively new port. And then they went and do this like remaster thing. More ways to play a game, that's fine, but man, they're charging quite a bit for like yet another port of the game. Okay. But if you're gonna do all that, you're gonna do all that work, you're gonna market it as, oh, the remaster of all these cool things. The least you can do is give a product that's actually polished. After all these releases, all these ports, all these years, you couldn't get it right. I know. That's nutty. Like, you didn't even try at this point.
The most damning thing about this is that, for PC, the fan community is going to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
They're already going to do it. We know that they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, and the fact that they're going to do it for free within a month, probably 2 months, really just goes to show how outclassed the whole, I don't know, like I don't know. It hasn't been done yet, so I can't say it is super possible and should have been done from the start. But I mean, come on, we all know it, because this is the same song and dance that happens every dang time. And
Nier Automata, we're still looking at you 5 years in. Yeah. Well, that's and there was a comment in the previous video that talked a little bit about that too. And like, and here lies the difference between a person who is on salary versus a person who's working for free, but they're a fan and they're passionate.
Oh yeah. Because they're
like
passionate.
There you go. That's the difference. Yeah.
One of them wants to do the job because they need to get paid, and the other wants to do the job because they know that it is the right thing to do for the thing that they have this passion for.
Yeah. So
and
that's the difference.
And it would be nice if Square could hire the people who are passionate to begin with, right?
Right.
How do you weed that out though? How do you find those people who are going to do it anyway and pay them to do it? And I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to find the right people for the right job. Sometimes all you have is, the person who applied.
I mean, you know what the difference is, right? The difference is self-selection.
There is that too.
Yeah, it's self-selection because the people who are fans, they have self-selected them into doing this project, right? Like, I am passionate. I know I am. I'm going to select myself into doing this and volunteer my own time and fix this thing. I have the right skill set and the knowledge, and I know people. We can group together. We can do this thing. We can do the translation patch, whatever. Yeah. These are self-selection, things. And they create the thing, and then we then select the best one and promote that. Right.
It's true.
So like that project from the other day when we were talking about the translation project, well, that's probably the best one out of maybe 2-3 other groups who might have tried it, and some succeed, some failed. Sure. This one got the furthest along. This one's the best quality, and us, the community, would promote that, and that became like the thing. Whereas a company would be different. There is a self-selection phase, but then that self-selection has like a monetary sort of thing to it. So now I might potentially lie to you to say I actually care about this, but you're gonna have to pay me to figure it out. Yeah. So then the company has to be like, oh, who do we pick? So if that answers your question at all, I think that's probably what we're looking at.
That's really astute, I think.
I
That's
don't
really good
think we have a
observation.
solution for it though.
Yeah.
Other than just let fan groups do their thing and stop,
And
trying to
hopefully
shut them down like there are.
find them and hire
Yeah.
them.
Yes. Yeah. Stop shutting them down like there's some kind of like, pandemic, like
or
they're like a
partner with
plague.
them when you can.
Yeah. These are the people who actually, cares and for good quality work. So work with
Absolutely.
them.
All right, we got another one here. Another comment here from Kansad, who said, "Hey guys, any games that made you cry?" Oh, all of them. Oh my God, dude. Do you?
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, I don't. I'm a serial crier. I'll cop to that. The very first
Mhm.
RPG I ever played, Earthbound, dude, I was in tears by the time I finished the fight against Gygas. That whole scene where, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to spoil that. Because there are some
You
people who
were
still
this
haven't played it.
close.
I
You were
know.
this close.
I know, but there was a moment when you're fighting Gygas that things just take a seriously emotional sideswipe, and it just hit me like a truck, and I was like, okay, that's it. I'm sold.
How about crying because it was so bad? Has that ever
Ooh,
happened?
no.
Like the game was just so bad it made you cry.
Yes.
Really? Was it Quest 64?
No.
No.
It was I believe it was Persona 3 The Answer. Oh my God, dude. Yes, it was so bad. And it there was a fight against characters that I'm not going to spoil, but two characters. It was completely out of character for them because of the events of the previous game. But that doesn't matter when you're making this game. It's just time to drag out their corpses and parade them around for a little bit and be like, ha ha ha, whatever. But it was so
Very
bad.
apt description for P3, by the way.
It was so bad. The answer, not the journey. The journey is the first half. That's the part you played. The answer is the tacked on side story that just it ruins all the character development.
Oh no.
And it makes the game extremely unfair. Oh my God. Anyways, yeah. I may have had some tears of frustration from a certain fight there against a couple of ladies, and that's as much as I'm gonna say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was rough. Another game. Oh God, there was another game that I was thinking of that was also probably bad enough to make me cry, and that was Lord of the Rings Volume 1 on the Super Nintendo, which is an ungodly abomination. And I am gonna cover that game at some point, but oh my God, is it ever a complete
game experience
waste of
experience point at some point? Wink, wink.
I'm gonna probably give it a full review at some point, but it is probably the very worst game I have ever played.
Wow.
And I played it a long time ago, back like it was a rental, So yeah.
If you remember all this time, it's gotta really stick. Are you sure you don't want to try it one more time just before you do the review?
Oh yeah, I bought a copy. I have
bought a copy.
I have a complete inbox copy that I bought at Portland Retro Gaming Expo for $20.
Because it's so bad.
Because it's so bad. I could actually buy it boxed for like a throwaway amount of money.
Oh wow.
Like because nobody wanted it. I mean, it's probably gone up in price since then, but
right.
Yeah, it was. It's rough. It is. Oh my God. It's an action RPG. It's not good. So
I can't wait. I can't wait to see this.
Man. It'll happen sooner than you probably think. Any games that made you cry, Baku?
So there are 3 games that comes to mind. 2 that almost got me crying. 1 that actually got me crying, and it's not what you think happened. So I'll talk about the 2 that almost got me. Near Automata, at a certain scene. I've talked about this a couple of times, even in my stream. I think it's one of the best, most well-made scene in one of the best scene in gaming history, because it combines your emotions and it combines your knowledge of the characters of the world. It twists it upside down and it puts you in the in the controller, in the steering wheel,
Mhm.
to go through this process. It is done in a way that you can't just like watch and feel it. You have to control your hand. You're controlling it. You're making this happen. Win or lose is on you, and you feel the gravity of the situation
Mhm.
because you are pressing the buttons and you're getting through it. So I won't spoil it, but yeah, I don't think I spoiled it. But once you get to that scene, that's when the entire story really flips on you.
Okay.
And it's just incredible, emotional, and extremely well executed.
Okay. So that's one of them.
So that's one.
Yeah.
The second one is Yakuza 6. The very ending to Yakuza 6 almost got me. It is the end to a legend. You play
Ooh.
7 games leading up to that point, and then it gives you a conclusion to this. Kiryu's journey basically ends at Yakuza 6.
Sure. Okay.
And well,
Did
until
it
they
end with a song like Baku Mitai?
no, it did not.
What's the game actually called, or the song called?
What, Bakamitai?
Yeah, Baku Mitai.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bakami. Oh, dude, if it ended with Bakamita, I would have laughed, but it would have completely ruined the moment, and I would have laughed out loud. But yeah, no, it was the culmination of 7 games worth of journey. So it's just really heartbreaking to see a decision made, and that's all I would say for that. Until they announced that he's back for Yakuza 8, of course, then that kind of changes everything. So, so that's the other one that almost got me. The game that did get me crying, was Trials of Mana. I don't know. Did I tell you about this?
Which one?
I didn't.
The remake
Trials
or
of
the
Mana.
original?
The remake.
Really?
Yeah, and the reason why was because it didn't get me crying as I was playing the game. It got me crying when they announced the game.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm just like, what? Like my favorite game from my childhood that I never mind bringing the game to the West. I didn't even expect. I would have no way to ever imagine that they would do a full faithful remake of Trials of Mana in 2020.
I remember you and I talking about it as soon as it was announced on Discord. Oh, it was a great memory.
Yeah, I teared up. I was done. I had to excuse myself and use the restroom. I was like, nope, this is too emotional. I can't.
There's one more game I thought of that that did bring me to tears, and that is the end of Terranigma.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my god,
that's a good one.
It comes out of nowhere and hits hard.
Yes,
man, it is such a sweet ending. I love it, but dang,
it didn't hit me the first time I played it because it was in Japanese and I was too young. But then when I replayed it, I'm like, this happened? I don't remember this happening. Well, yeah, of course you didn't, you idiot, because you didn't understand the story.
Anybody who has finished Terranigma probably knows exactly what I'm talking about, and man, it hits hard out of nowhere.
Yes.
We got another super chat, by the way, from Eagle Knight, who says, "Love project managers."
Yes.
Yay. So for anybody who didn't get the joke, I was specifically calling out project managers because that is what Baku does as a profession.
Yes, this is what I do for. I'm actually a program manager now. I manage project managers. Yeah, I manage the project managers.
Oh, yes, well, who manages the managers? Well, now we know.
Yes. Now you know. I manage the managers. I'm like even more useless now.
Hey! You are no longer middle management. You are upper middle management.
Sure.
Okay. It depends on where you're at.
I think I'm like middle manager now. Like,
okay.
Yeah, all the BS and none of the benefits.
It's not until you're a senior project manager something. Okay. Anyways,
it would be a VP after that.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That's when you're like starting to climb up there.
Okay. All right. Now we have another one here from Miguel Espinal, who says, "You mentioned earlier to start with Suikoden 3, but we are getting Suikoden 1 and 2 remastered this year. Which one of those two is better?" Ooh.
Hold on. Aren't those like on those sequels? Isn't 2 sequel of 1? Like, don't you have to play them in order anyways?
Yeah, kinda. I don't know if they're gonna have the whole file loading thing. If they do, you should definitely. I would say of the two, Suikoden 2 is probably more beloved overall, a stronger game.
Right.
I think that they really do complement each other, though. So go ahead and just, I would say, start with one and then play two, and hopefully you can load your save data because there's extra benefits to doing that. At least on the PlayStation versions, you can unlock a certain character later on.
Oh,
Did you not know that?
I do not. I just always knew that 1 and 2 are in the same world.
Well,
Mm,
maybe. I mean, they take place
Maybe.
within the same universe for sure. Um,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, they did.
whereas
They
like
take
some of
place.
the other games are like not right. Like
I think they all do.
they all do.
I think so.
Huh.
I mean, yeah, they all take place in the same universe. I don't know about what if the timelines are, wonky at all, but
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah, that's as much as I'll
Hmm.
say cuz there could be some spoilers ahead in the murky waters. But yeah,
Hmm.
I would say order of release is how I would recommend for Suikoden specifically. Um unless unless you had 3 available, in which case, yeah, that's the worst. Play it first. Get it out of the way. But if you had
I
1
mean,
and 2 to
especially if
play,
this is intended to be a reboot. Fingers crossed.
you
You
mean like
know.
a way to start revitalizing the franchise? It could be.
Yeah. Yeah. It could
Yeah,
be. Could be. Yeah.
really, honestly, you could probably just skip 3 and 4. I think that's
And
what a lot of
5.
people do. No, 5 is actually kind of a return to form.
I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I
Yeah.
know. But 5 was kind of a return to form. I think that
Mm,
was pretty good. No, no, no. Start with
yeah.
Suikoden Tactics.
Suikoden
That's a joke.
Tactics.
That's a joke. Don't, because that's a sequel to Suikoden 4. So,
Is
um,
Suikoden Tactics like really bad, or
no,
did you
no,
play?
I've got a
No.
review of it. I've talked about it,
Okay.
but it is a sequel to Suikoden 4. So
Oh, okay.
you would probably want slash prequel. You would probably want to play Suikoden 4 first, you know.
Mm, nice, nice.
But
Wait,
yeah, to answer the question though, of the two, which is better? Probably Suikoden 2. But it's also a lot longer, so I would start with, 1, see how you like it. I don't know.
we got a new super chat just now.
We did.
We did.
All right, let's see. This is a Prime of Two says, any franchises that are usually not RPGs you guys like to have an RPG made in? As a
Hmm.
huge RPG and Yakuza fan, Yakuza 7 was a dream come true for me.
Mm.
Oh
Oh, thank
man.
you so much for that, and
Yeah.
congrats on the first super chat. Appreciate that.
Yeah, very much appreciated. Um, that's a
Okay.
great question.
Yeah.
God, part of me wants to say something
RPG.
like, man, could you imagine an RPG based on Jet Set Radio?
Oh, that'd be fun.
That
Yeah.
would that would be something way out there. Um,
Mm.
but I would like something set in like Tokyocho, I think is what they called it, and like the kind of sci-fi futuristic Tokyo where you're rollerblading around doing graffiti and stuff. That could lend itself
Yeah.
well, especially with a sort of like militaristic police force. Could lend itself really well to some interesting storylines, I think,
Mhm.
and
I mean,
plus the music. Oh man,
if they made it open world and they just throw like RPG mechanics in there, like
uh
you're
huh,
halfway there.
yeah. I
Yeah.
I'd be down to check that out for sure. Sega, get on it. I think that's a
Mm,
Sega property, right? Pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty sure it is. A game that is what are even some games that are that are not typically RPG? I can't even
Well, so
I
some people
play
are right
so
now in
many
the
games
chat are
that is
talking
RPG.
about like
Hmm.
Tekken, for instance,
Tekken.
or Samurai Showdown.
Okay.
Some people are talking about some fighting
Samurai
games.
Showdown. There's the Samurai Showdown RPG already.
Well,
There was a Samurai Showdown RPG already.
you know,
I mean, there's Mario RPG. I mean, that's another game
they've
that's
already
not
done that.
typically an
Yeah.
RPG, and they've done that.
There's a
Tekken, they
Sonic
haven't
RPG.
done. There's a Sonic
Apparently,
RPG, yeah,
I wanted to play it, the Dark Brotherhood. I wanted to play it, but I
mhm,
haven't.
yeah. I was gonna say Tekken, they haven't done it, but they have Project Cross Zone, which has Tekken characters in it, and that's a turn-based tactical RPG. So, like, not quite, but you can kind of imagine it being it. So
Mhm.
that's like not exactly far-fetched. They do have something similar.
Well,
God, I
I
just
feel
can't
like
think of anything
I
right
know.
now.
I feel like they're God, okay. How about like a Ninja Turtles RPG? That would be rad.
Oh,
That would
Ninja
be
Turtle RPG.
way
Unless
out
they
of
already
nowhere.
did make that somehow, and we just like didn't know.
I don't think they have. As far as I
Guilty
know.
Gear JRPG, yes. Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah, Guilty Gear would make for a good RPG. Guilty
Man.
Gear, yeah. Guilty Gear,
I'm
Blaze Blue,
At
same
this
for the
point I'm
same
like looking around
reasons.
my office for ideas and I'm finding out that everything in my office is just an
Yeah.
RPG.
See, that's the problem. Like all my games, all the games off the top of my head are all RPGs
Exactly.
already.
Like
So,
what kind of game
ah,
is this? I don't Beautiful Joe. Oh, how about No More Heroes? A turn-based RPG out of that
no more heroes. Turn
with
based.
Travis Touchdown. That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, no
yeah.
more hero RPG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No More Heroes would be really good.
Shoot, there are a lot of games that would make great RPGs.
Like, how about we just try? Okay, everybody in charge of game development right now, just go ahead and transition whatever you're currently working on to an RPG. Like, let's do a Kirby RPG. We'll do a, Donkey Kong RPG.
Yes.
We'll do a 007 GoldenEye RPG.
Kirby RPG.
Didn't I just say
You,
Kirby?
oh yeah, no, you can change class by
Oh
just
yeah.
sucking enemies
Oh,
in.
that'd be
That would be
cool.
fun. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Change class on the spot in the map.
Uh, I was thinking
Special
about saying
abilities.
GTA because uh, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is one of my favorite non-RPGs out there.
Mm.
Except I feel like that's what I'm about to play a little bit with Yakuza Like a Dragon. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, good questions though.
Man, yeah, great question.
I'm starting to feel like I don't know enough.
I'm gonna think about that for the rest of the day now.
I know, I know. And here I'm thinking like, my gosh, if it, I have a problem because I have not played any non-RPGs in recent years.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I would actually like to see a Ruby RPG. That would
Oh,
be nice. You already got a party of four,
I mean,
so
if we're just
yeah.
pulling non-video game
They
characters,
have video games
oh,
though,
do
just
they?
not RPGs.
Okay,
They have a 3D like action game. They have a 2D side scroller game, like kind of like a Metrovania kind of deal. But they
yeah,
don't have a turn based, or they don't have an RPG based on Ruby, and that might be actually pretty good.
huh, yeah, maybe we'll see one done eventually.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that about brings us to the end of tonight's stream, everybody. So
Yes.
thank you all for all of your super chats and hanging out with us tonight. It's good to see so many of you have joined us this evening. If you are new to HitPoint, if you enjoyed what you heard or watched, please be sure to drop a sub or a follow on whatever platform you are enjoying us on. I hope you enjoyed it and leave a thumbs up. It really does help the show quite a bit, more than you would probably think.
Heck yeah.
Baku, any closing thoughts that you would like to leave the people with today?
Yeah, let us know what are the worst, most atrocious releases. There
Yes.
you go. We just a
The
reminder
most
that
bugged out
we love
RPGs.
reading your comments.
All
At least
right.
I do.
Yeah, so do I. All right. Take care, everybody.